Hi guys, there's the pond. They're all down the deep end. They're still a bit cold, the water's very cold still, so they're all staying down the deep end. And the garden's looking a bit sparse. We're only 2/3 of the way through February, but a lot of people say wait till spring, but I don't like to wait till spring. If I'm going to make any alterations to my filter system, I want to do it now so it's working in the spring. As one or two of you may know, I've really been looking into this Cornus K1 micro media, and to be quite honest, it reads quite impressive. They're using it in all the new bead filters now, which rate quite well. So what I want to do is give it a try, but I shall be using it as a static media and not a moving media. So basically what I'll be doing is taking the first tank, the swirl tank, turning that into a static media bed, which I shall take the media from the centre tub that's in there at the moment, the K1, and put it in the swirl tank, the first tank, and then I shall be putting the micro media in the second tank. We'll see how we get on with that. I won't be touching the third tank because it works really well. They do rate it as having a vast improved flow rate on the K1 media, and also it's got nearly twice the surface area for the bacteria than the K1 media. I'm going to have to give it a go and see how it goes. And although we say the two static beds are mechanical filters, they're a bit of both really, because don't forget the bacteria builds up in the centre of the wheels on that K1, so it's bacterial and mechanical all in one filter. So that's how things are at the moment, so I'm going to get stuck in and we're going to make some modifications here, ready for the media that should be delivered this afternoon. I must start by saying I do not recommend anybody to make this modification to their filter system until I've fully tried and tested it. I will post my results in 2 or 3 months' time to let you all know how this has gone. Okay guys, what we have here, this is the first tub, which was the swirl tank, which I'm now changing into a mechanical filter. As you can see, I've just removed the centre drain at the moment. That was one reason why we don't glue them. What I've actually done is, where my pond pump came into the tub on the two 90-degree elbows, I've now piped it, as you can see, down to the bottom of the tub, and at the bottom, as a precaution, I've put 2 filter cages on, just in case there's any backup. That'll stop the media going back up the pipes. And that's how far I've got at the moment, and on to the next stage. Okay, that's all done and finished, all up and running well, as you can see. No media in there now. The pipe's going down to the bottom of the tank. I don't even know whether you can see that. There is some glare on the water. You can actually see down to the bottom where the cages are and the airline. So now what I'm going to do is take the media from the centre tub and put it in the first tub. Okay, as you can see, I've got the K1 media moved from the centre tank into what was the swirl tank. This tank at the moment is now empty. My micro media should be delivered today, so I can get that in, get it in there in 2 or 3 stages, and I'll let you know how that goes. Okay guys, there it is. It's just been delivered, the new K1 micro. You're probably wondering why I'm doing this video in the house. It's just decided to pour down with rain, so we've had to take a break at the moment, but I will be outside as soon as it stops and get this stuff working. Just thought I'd show you the difference. There's the difference between the K1 and the K1 micro. As you can see, we're not going to get a lot done out there at the moment. Right, there has been several of you out there wanting to know how I do cut the slots in the centre drains. So what I'm going to do is show you now how I do it. I do it on my miter saw, and I've made a little jig up for it, which is here, and that just fits onto the miter saw like so, and the pipe slots in. It's got a screw at the other end to stop it going through too far, so it cuts exactly the same cut every time. And I've built one side up so that when the miter saw comes down, it stops in exactly the same place every time. It hits that the side of that wood sticking up there, and the pipe just slots onto that piece there, and then I just bring the miter saw down so that I get the same cut exactly every time. K1 micro in there, and it's wanting to float. So basically what I do is just give it a swish about to get the air out of it. Give it a good pushing down. Just try to get the air out of it, which helps it sink. It's still spitting about with rain, by the way. As you can see, it's going in. Get a bit more in there. I can't tip the bag and hold the camera at the same time, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay, that's some more in, and as you can see, it's right at the top. Doesn't want to sink. The more you put in, the worse it gets, actually. You just keep pushing it down, swirl it about. Gosh, that water's cold. Oh. It's slowly going down. In fact, I think this is harder to get the water into than the K1, actually. Let's try to tip a bit more in. Okay guys, what I'm actually doing, I've turned the air on to help stir it into the water as well. That seems to be doing a bit better job than I was. It's slowly mixing it in. I've got about half of it in now. Having the air on does seem to circulate it and stir it in a little bit better. Right guys, we've got a lovely sunny day at the moment today. Totally different from yesterday. As you can see, I've got about 50% of this micro in, and it's still wanting to float. So I've got a little problem there, as you see. The water level has risen. It's not siphoning through the drain in the centre as I hoped it would, so I've got to do a slight modification there somehow. But I'll get that put right, and then we'll have a go at putting some more in. It's certainly not like the K1. It does take a lot of getting to become semi-buoyant. Okay guys, what I've actually done to solve the water level running a little bit high, I've dropped a T-junction in there, extended the centre drain, and now I've got two centre drains. So I'm hoping this is just going to ease that water level a little bit and let it down slightly. This small micro stuff, I think it's not flowing through the slots in the drains as well as it did with the K1. So I've dropped two drains in and we'll see how that goes. Actually, while it is at this level, I think I'll drop the rest of the micromedia in there and give that a good stir. It'll save it trying to go over the sides of the tub. Okay, there you go. As you can see, I've solved my water level problem. That's running fine, and I've also got the full 50 litres of the K1 micro in there now. So that is actually done and finished. All that's left now is to see how it performs, which you know I'll report later, and see how we go this summer. I will give it another month or so once the water starts to warm up a little bit, and then I shall be dropping some bacteria balls in there just to give it a good kickstart. I shall drop some in each tub actually. As you know, your bacteria dies off through the winter, through the cold water, but I will kickstart each tub ready for the summer. One thing I have stumbled on while doing this modification is that two centre drains, the two heads in there, the centre drains, have improved the flow dramatically. So what I've actually done is now alter the centre drains on the first tub as well. So I do recommend this modification. Okay guys, that's why I love to get it done before the spring. I'm all ready and running to take the spring and summer on. Filters all up and done. I've got everything I wanted to do. So I'll give you a detailed report 2 or 3 months time. Thanks for watching. Happy ponding.